Greetings, YouTube. Today's story comes out of Canada. A Bathurst man says he was pulled over and questioned by the RCMP while driving home from the Stonehaven Wharf, and was told it was because police received several calls regarding a suspicious black man in a white car parked at the wharf. Uh, Lizandre Dauphin, the director of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism for the city of Bathurst, was reading an anthology of works by C.S. Lewis, obviously a thug. I came down to the wharf just to do some reading and just spend time by the wharf. Dauphin said, "I don't think I was doing anything wrong, and that's because you weren't, Mr. Dauphin." And the most cogent remark from this particular article is as much as we like to turn up our noses to our brothers and sisters in the United States, we do have to recognize we have very much similar problems here in this country. And yes, the similar problems, whether you're in Canada or the United States, that being black in public is reason enough to call the police. So, thankfully, because this was in Canada, Mr. Dauphin didn't get shot and killed. He wasn't executed. In the United States, he probably would have been executed. The police probably would have just opened fire as soon as they came upon his vehicle, because you can't be having no black men who are literate. It is an interesting insight that this problem, that any activity that minority does in public is viewed much differently than that same activity if it were viewed by a white person doing it. Now, I have read in public many, many times. I've never been questioned by the police. I've been alone in my vehicle reading because I was killing time between point A and point B, and there wasn't enough time to go home, or I was waiting for my wife. Frequently, when my wife was a reporter, I would be killing time in a car, either napping or reading, while she was off doing some kind of a story, and we had someplace to go before and after. And at no point have I ever been stopped by the police for napping or reading in a car. But then again, I'm lily white. If you get any more pale than I am, you become translucent. But whether you're in Canada or the United States, black people don't have that advantage. They don't enjoy that privilege. Anything they do in public seems to be provocation for some insecure white person to call the police and declare suspicious activity, which is probably one of the broadest terms I have ever heard ever, because that could mean a whole lot of stuff. And of course, the social conservatives will say, "What if you've been doing something wrong?" To who? He was sitting in a car. Unless your fevered imagination has already constructed an entire narrative that didn't actually exist, he's not doing anything. He's sitting in a car. I would really love if these social conservatives would stop and ask themselves, well, if I were sitting in a car, what danger would I pose to the world around me? Or if the guy I'm looking at right now were white, would I be upset? And if the answer is none or none, then they should be asking themselves, why am I upset when a black person does it? And of course, that may be a level of introspection that many social conservatives are capable of achieving. In fact, I might go so far as to say, if a social conservative could reach that level of introspection, they would not be socially conservative. That when you begin to put yourself into someone else's position, when you begin to expand your worldview and experience empathy, sympathy, and compassion and understanding, you can no longer be socially conservative. That you have stepped from that mold into the wider world of liberal progressive thinking. And I say mold specifically because social conservative thinking is a trap. It's a cage. It's a containment. It's a rigid box that people need to get out of. So there we go. At the end of the day, no one got shot, though someone did get to experience a little more racism in their day than they probably needed or wanted. and some scared white person got to feel some level of vindication, maybe that that there were keeping an eye out for the neighborhood, though it's still beyond me what they thought was going on. So yeah, there's a thing. But like I said, it was Canada, so at least no one executed him.